Leo Tolstoy.
Oh yeah.
I think not many people know is an anarchist.
Yes.
A Christian anarchist.
Christian anarchist, yeah.
So he came to despise government for its deceit and its violence. But to him, the Christian principles of nonviolence, I think, are important.
Oh yeah, and this kind of pacifist kind of mindset of, it's better to someone to punch you than to punch them back. It bothers me when people bring up MLK because he's become so corporate and everyone just brings him up without knowing about him. One of the things that Martin Luther King did so very well was that he forced people to face the consequences of what they were putting forward. You want to be racist, you want to be for Jim Crow, you want to be for segregation. Okay, it's easy for you to do that from your living room. Now turn on your news and you see men and women in suits being attacked by dogs, being attacked by fire hoses and beaten by cops just so they can sit on the front of the bus. And now for a lot of people who were still racist, who were still had animus toward black people are watching this, it's going to be a lot harder to be like, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with human beings, even ones I regard as somehow bad or inferior, to be beaten and attacked by trained dogs, and they're not doing anything in response. That strikes to, I think, a very basic nature of, especially American, like, whatever you're for, I'm not for people getting beaten and attacked when they're not really doing anything. So I think pacifism is something that's very easy to make fun of, but people don't underestimate how powerful it is for someone to say, you can do what you want to me, I'm not gonna fight you back, I just want to live peacefully and have the same rights as you, and to say, screw you, you should get beaten. That's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. And to say, you could do whatever you want to me, I'm not going to hurt somebody else. Instinctively, and maybe this is kind of a hack, most people want to side with that guy, step in between and be like, oh, okay, let's take a step back because whatever led to this is not tenable. We need to go back to the drawing board. The consequence is people are having these as a result of my decisions and actions. So I think that aspect of anarchism is very, very, in certain contexts, healthy and much smarter and more sophisticated. Tolstoy wrote War and Peace, and he wrote Anna Karenina. So this was not some naive or innocent, whatever word you want to use. He knew the nature of evil. He knew how bad things get. So he wasn't saying at all that human beings are inherently nice and kind. He was saying it's much more effective to not fight back. And I was talking to the hosts, and one of them talked about how someone he knew had been in the Gulag, or his mom was born in the Gulag, grandma. And after Stalin died and the Soviet Union liberalized and lots of the people in the Gulags were freed by Khrushchev and so on and so forth, I didn't know this, many of the, or some, let's say some, of the guards of the Gulags killed themselves because they had genuinely believed that everyone in these camps was there for a reason. And when they found out that these people were completely innocent, they didn't even have trials, and that they were the ones forcing them to work themselves to death and starve, they couldn't deal with that guilt. So when you are a pacifist or non-retaliatory, and you're forcing someone who's using force, like, look what you're doing, look what you've become. For some people don't care. You know, it's the guy in scare tactics, like I mentioned earlier. Where for a lot of others, they're going to be like, okay, is this who I wanted to grow up to be? They will have that little flame of conscience that you and I talked about earlier. They will be like, how did I get to the point where there's this lady who wants to ride the bus and she's, lovely dressed, put together, and I have sending a dog on her? What kind of person am I? For some of those people, they're going to be like, okay, I can't be a part of this. I don't even understand the politics. I still am racist, but I'm not going to take part in this atrocity.